are back on Boond Soch ki ttalk train of thought with a series of an episode with Shweta Ashok. She is a nutritionist and also a lifestyle coach. So very valuable insights of what we are getting from her as for the health factor which are concerned in terms of a diet and keeping overall healthy body system. Ma'am, now in fact when we talk in terms of macronutrient ratio, that matters more than the diet quality. So what you have to say about that, like?
Nutrient quality is much more important than just looking at the macronutrient ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, if you observe, everybody is into the trend of cutting out your carbohydrates
Mm-hmm.
and focusing on the other two major macronutrients, which is protein and fiber and fat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What happens in this case is, again, you're not getting a balance
Mm-hmm.
in eating, and it's not always just kitna calories le rahe ho that goes in and kitna calories you're burning out. It doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
You have to focus. If you think about sustainable lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
you have to focus on overall the quality of food that is going in.
Mm-hmm.
Macronutrient could be anything, right? We can eat pizza with a lot of vegetable toppings, and that also becomes
Mm-hmm.
a whole macronutrient.
Correct.
Okay, so we have to actually look at the quality of food that is going.
I see.
And it could be as simple as eating dal chawal with a pickle. That itself is balanced,
Mm-hmm.
and it has all the micronutrients as well as the macronutrients.
Mm-hmm.
And your micronutrients are what is very important when it comes to giving your body the right vitamins and minerals.
Mm-hmm.
So, like we discussed in the previous episode, talking about calcium and other deficiencies,
Mhm.
they come because we're not focusing on the micronutrients and just on the major kitna roti khaya, kitna chawal khaya, that.
Correct.
So, I think it is very important that you focus on your diet quality and not just the macronutrients.
Okay, good, great. And also, like when we talk in terms of tracking calories and the macros is necessary for the weight loss, what do you have to say about that?
I think it's a very complicated process, and you stress out more when you have to constantly log in how much you have eaten in a day.
Mm-hmm.
One day there comes a point where it's so much to do that you've given up.
Mm-hmm.
So then you fall off track and you're just not tracking anything, and then you're eating everything.
Correct.
Be mindful. You don't need to track your calories unless you're a sports person, unless you do have a severe condition and you have to kind of make sure that you're not eating more or eating very less.
Mm-hmm.
These are like two extremes, but just to lead a normal healthy lifestyle for all of us, like normal beings like us, we don't really need to focus on tracking our calories. We just
Okay.
need to make sure that it's portioned, we eat as per our hunger signals, and we follow early dinner the way our ancestors used to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Early dinner, early to bed, early to rise.
Mm-hmm.
All of those basic concepts, if we follow, we don't really need to get too complicated with tracking.
Correct. I think we're also getting some of the question from a ttalk audience, like if they're obese and the weight is much more, let's say like it can be 150 kg, like the weight which is there. Now for that person to follow the strict diet, like what can be the practices what he should follow, like?
Okay. So if you remember, I had spoken about how I don't believe in restrictive dieting.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, this impacts the mental health aspect that for me to become fit or lose weight, I need to give up everything.
Mm-hmm.
So जितना stress होता है body को, then automatically वो fat loss process में it becomes more stressful to lose the fat.
Mm-hmm.
So I follow basic principles.
Mm-hmm.
First, I would understand the person why, if they've gained recently, like a lot of people gained a lot of weight during the pandemic because it was stressful, everybody was at home.
Correct.
So if it's something because of a particular situation or for the longest time they've been at a higher weight, first I would understand that, and then I would break it down to them that if you're eating ghar ka khana, how you're supposed to eat. If you're eating outside, what are the healthier choices that you can make, less fried, lesser oil. if you do once in a while want to eat sweets, then what are the sweets that you should be eating? So I coach them overall, that looking at a life perspective, what are the day-to-day, and humans are social beings, so we can't really avoid going out, but how do you kind of also balance, lose weight and be able to enjoy life is how I coach anyone who comes to me who's overweight.
Nice.
So a lot of emotional and mental coaching also goes into it.
Okay, and that then you should be strict discipline following that line.
Yeah, then food, of course, 80% comes from managing and being a little strict with food, but it's more about enjoying the process also, so that it doesn't, it's like if you tell a child that aapko yahi karna hai, the child never wants to do that.
Correct,
They want
correct.
to do the opposite,
Correct,
right?
correct.
So I also have to make it a little fun for them to understand the concepts. I also teach them the concepts that you're eating this way because it's going to make you feel better in this manner. So when they also understand, they enjoy doing it. Then they don't feel restricted that acha ye bahut strict hai, when am I going to eat something else?
Correct.
Things like that.
Okay, good, great. Now, in fact, there's a myth about the calories in and calories out like. So what do you have to say about that when it comes to weight loss?
Right.
Your views on that?
We actually, when we exercise, we require more calories. Because our body, number one, it's putting in a lot of effort to, if it's fat loss, then it's losing fat and making muscle.
Correct.
So then our body also requires a lot of calories to maintain muscle. So it all depends on what your goals are, but it's not as simple as calorie in, calorie out. If you are taking in 500 calories, you can't go to the gym and just be like, I'm going to, work out very hard and then burn these 500 calories. You have to, again, like we spoke about diet quality, you have to focus on the nutrient quality. Your food should be rich in nutrients. And because if you talk about calorie in, calorie out, it could be, again, like I said, you can just eat a pizza and be like, mere 500 calorie ho gaye, now I'll go burn this out. But if that pizza has not benefited you,
correct,
nor is it going to benefit you to work out well.
It's a kind of a quality diet what one needs to take. Like.
Correct. It's not as simple as just in and out.
Great. It's a great insights what we are getting as for the calories which are concerned, also in terms of an macro nutrient ratio which I think Shweta, she spoke about. I'm sure, I think if we need to lead a healthy life, we need to follow some of a strict discipline as far as the diets which are concerned. That's what this ttalk platform is all about. They invite the experts like Shweta on this show just to throw light as far as the nutrition and the life coach, lifestyle coaches which are concerned, like in terms of taking care of a healthy life. Do catch up with Shweta Ashok in our next episode on ttalk with Boond Soch. Go to www.ttalk.net and subscribe and like the channel as much as you can. And also below you will see a comment box. If any comment is there for Shweta, she'll willingly answer those queries which are there. Watch her on the next episode of ttalk with Boond Soch. And thanks a lot for being part of this show. Thank you very much.